Hey guys, Mr. Plant Geek here. Today we're going to plant up a moon glow container. Now this is going to be full of flowers that are white, pale blue and pale yellow. So they're going to glow in the evening light. So we're going to use this lovely pebble dashed container and we're going to fill it up with the best quality compost. So this is Richard Jackson's compost and we're planting into a Plants to Garden container, and these can all be found on the QVC website. When choosing a container, make sure you use one that has got a big volume, because the more volume of soil means the less often it's going to dry out. So we're going to layer this container. We're actually going to have a layer of bulbs at the base and then plant onto the top of there. So I've chosen a few different white coloured lilies to plant into our container. First of all, I've got this big one here. This is Lily Regali, and this is a white flowered lily. We're going to plant that first into our container at the base. We need this to be lasagna style, so we're going to plant bulbs at different layers in the container. So we're planting those right at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. That's done. That's our first layer. Next, we're going to fill in a little bit more compost, and then we're ready to put some more lilies in. Now these are lotus lilies. These are double flowered lilies which look like lotus flowers, really pretty, and they're white ones as well, so they're going to glow at night like the other ones in the container. And then we've got our third lily to plant into here, which is Pretty Woman, which is a big oriental lily with big wide dinner plate flowers. So we've got 3 different lilies in our moon glow container here. I can't wait until it flowers. So we're popping those in at that next layer. After that, we're putting in a little bit more compost because we've got another layer of bulbs to go in there. We're going to put in something that smells of lemons. We're going to put in Acidanthera, which is a lovely plant related to gladioli. Now these are a lot smaller corms, so they don't need to be as deep as the other ones, but they're really easy to plant. We're just going to scatter them on the surface. I'm not bothered if they're the right way up or not, because they find their own way up. They're really small bulbs, so I'm just going to scatter those onto the top. I'm then going to fill more compost in to bring that level right up, because now we're going to put our live plants onto the top of our moon glow garden. So there we go, a little bit more up here. And then we're going to fill in with 4 different types of plant. The first one is actually supplied as a bare root plant. So this is a dormant plant, so it isn't showing that much growth. But this is a new dwarf iris called Tickety Boo, and it has a very nice pale blue flower, which is going to work really well in our moon glow garden. Going to plant 3 of those just at the side. They need to be just above the surface because the light needs to get to that area, which is the rhizome. So planting those into that corner. We're planting them a little bit closer than we would normally into our container, but we're planting this as a short-term container. We're only going to have it in the pot for perhaps 2 or 3 seasons and then replant everything into gardens outside. Next, we're going to plant in this hydrangea Runaway Bride, which is a brand new variety which cascades gently and has bridal white flowers, so it's perfect for our moon glow container here. We've got 2 of those going into the pot. So we're going to plant those nice and firmly. You can see they're very healthy plants. There's already a few little flowers on those. Now next, the perfect specimen for our moon glow garden will be alliums, because they've got a bit of a look. They look a bit like the moon, and they've got these lovely glittery purple flowers as well. So we're going to plant those towards the back of our container. So there we go. And then the last plant we're going to put in is a new plant called Gypsophila. Now this is a very small plant, so we're going to plant it in a few different places in the container and then hope that it grows between and creates a carpet of white flowers. So I'm going to put one next to the hydrangea, one next to the alliums, and then one over in this corner near the iris. We just need to finish off now by filling in some compost around those plants, making sure you don't cover them up completely, but just make sure that any air pockets are filled in. So we're going to put that around the alliums, around the baby Gypsophila. You might think the Gypsophila looks like a young plant, but these are hardy plants, so it doesn't matter if you plant out something a little bit smaller. So it looks the same size as a petunia, but it's hardy perennial, so it's a lot easier to plant out straight away than it would be a petunia. So that is our moon glow garden, which has got flowers in pale blue, pale yellow and white. It's just going to glow in the evening light of our garden, and it's in this gorgeous pebble dash container, so you can create this at home too.